If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or any cheap PC games, use the referral link in the description. It will take you over to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods, and if you use the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 16 of the Wolfsburg career mode here on FIFA 16. Thank you very much again for all of the feedback on the previous episode. I obviously went through some of your transfer suggestions in the previous episode, outlining the ones that I would be interested in, the ones that I wouldn't, and also asking for some potential pre-contract signings, one of which includes Joel Matip. We did look at him, I think, in the last episode, but we're actually offering him a contract now. Sofiane Feghouli is also another player available on a pre-contract. At present, we don't have the money to be able to bring in both, to be completely honest, but throughout the course of the window, obviously I'm going to try my best to juggle my finances one way and then the other to try and make sure we can bring in the most amount of players and the best amount of players that we possibly can, or the best quality of players that we possibly can. So you've seen us put pre-contract bids in for Feghouli and Matip. We're putting actual financial bids in for Iñaki Williams and Breel Donald Mbolo. I'm actually going to try and loan Kelechi Iheanacho here. I don't know anything about him other than he's pretty good on Football Manager, and he comes highly recommended from you guys. So for £9 a week, we may as well give him a go. So we'll see if we can get him to come through the door. Obviously, we're in the January transfer window right now, and in Germany there is a transfer, or there is a winter break in the games. So from the 3rd to the 27th, I think it was, we have no games to play. It's literally all transfer action. So we'll try and get as much transfer action done today as we possibly can. We're still looking for a striker. Obviously, we put an offer in for Mbolo. We do have Nicholas Bentner still available to either sell or use as make weight. I know a few of you aren't keen on me selling the Lord, and I wasn't going to at the beginning of the series, and that was the intention, to keep him, but unfortunately I need to move him on to make sure that we can actually compete on all fronts this season and for the future as well. So sadly, Nicholas Bentner is probably going to leave us this window. Getting counter offers from the pre-contract players of Feghouli and Joel Matip, which is unsurprising, as always. Trying to make my money go as far as it possibly can, so just not just sort of throwing money about left, right and centre, trying to make sure that we get deals that are done at the cheapest price we possibly can, whilst obviously ensuring that the players that we're bringing in are happy with their wage and their squad role. Weirdly, Sofiane Feghouli doesn't have a squad role at Valencia, which is very strange, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Breel Donald Mbolo, they rejected the 4 million, so we'll go in with 7. They seem to be, at Porto, very keen on a large chunk of money for Vincent Aboubakar. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. We'll offer them 8 for now, but obviously that is less than half than what they're actually wanting. So it doesn't look like Vincent Aboubakar is going to be a goer for now. Maybe a little bit later on in the series we might be able to bring him in. Obviously we used him on Football Manager and he was amazing, and as you can see, confirming the move of Kelechi there as well. So pleased to bring him in. Obviously scored a goal for Manchester City in the dying moments of a game earlier on in the season, and kind of announced himself onto the Premier League scene, although a few people that were obviously using him on Football Manager were kind of shouting his praises much prior to the game that he actually came on and scored. Was it against Palace? I think it might have been against Palace. I might be wrong, probably am. But you can see we're offering Nicholas Bentner now, as well as the £8 million for Vincent Aboubakar, but I really don't think that deal's going to go through. We offered $3 million for Iñaki Williams, and they just accepted it straight away. So I was pretty shocked at that, considering how good he is already and his potential. So it looks like we might be bringing Iñaki Williams in immediately, and as you can see, still trying to work out a deal for Breel Donald Mbolo. Again, trying to make sure that we get the right fee contract-wise for Sofiane Feghouli and Joel Matip. Again, look, you can see me trying to fiddle with the budget. You can see now we've spent £9 bringing in Kelechi on loan for 2 years, I think it was. I think we made it a 2-year loan deal that we have to continue to tweak with the numbers we're offering Matip and Feghouli. We may need to sell someone else on to be able to bring in both of them, which hopefully will happen between now and the end of the window, but we'll find out a little bit later on. As you can see, I'm fiddling with my budget here now that we don't look like we're going to have enough to be able to bring in anybody else with an actual bid other than Iñaki Williams. Make sure I left the 3 million there so that we could bring in Iñaki Williams, and there's enough left in the wage budget to bring in one of Feghouli or Joel Matip. But that situation will develop slightly more as we head through the episode, because as you can see, they've accepted £7 million plus the Lord for Breel Donald Mbolo. Now that changes things slightly, because obviously we could do with a striker right here and now, rather than having to wait until the end of the window or the end of the season for a winger or centre back. So I'm probably going to chase Embolo more so than I am Feghouli and Joel Matip as things stand. So as we push further through, still going to make sure that if we can get one of these bids through, we will do. I'm not going to just pull out for the sake of pulling out. If we can, if we can keep the deals alive and then something happens to get us the extra money, then we'll take it. But at the minute, Marcel Schaefer looks like he's going to be moving on to Eintracht Frankfurt for 2 million. They are going to accept that counter offer, fortunately. So that's not necessarily a massive chunk of money to come in, but it will definitely help when it comes to sorting out the deals for perhaps Feghouli, perhaps John Matip, perhaps both, maybe Bril Donald and Bolo. We look like we're already certain to get Iñaki Williams in from Athletic Bilbao, which would be a fantastic signing. Obviously, we could do with a right-sided midfielder, which is why we're looking at him. We've got Varinia that plays there at present, and obviously Danny Caligiuri is a player that is can be utilised on either wing, but so far has barely played for me this season, and we have had an offer for him. You may have seen there in the emails, I had an offer for Danny Caligiuri, who isn't on the transfer list. I'm keen to point out as well. I haven't tried to move him on, but we have had an offer. We're looking to offer Bril Donald and Bolo a contract. Joel Matip has accepted the pre-contract. Iñaki Williams has accepted his contract, and he now joins us. 21 years of age, 74 rated, fantastic signing. Now that frees space up to perhaps move on Danny Caligiuri. And Genoa came in with an offer of 7.5. It's under what it's valued at, but considering the deals we already have in motion right now, I was keen to accept that 7.5 million. Considering we've brought in Iñaki Williams for 3, and he can effectively fill the void left by Danny Caligiuri, we can now fiddle with the budget again, enough so to be able to bring in on a permanent right now Bril Donald and Bolo, should he accept the contract that we'd offered him. And as you can see right there, Danny Caligiuri has gone, and Bril Donald and Bolo has accepted the contract offer that we made to him. So £7 million plus Nicholas Bentner means that Embolo is going to join us. And weirdly, as I hit accept, my wage budget actually goes up, because Bentner's on more than 40 grand. So that's an extremely good deal for us, which means I can now, if I fiddle with my budget again, perhaps bring in both Feghouli and Joel Matip on pre-contracts, making sure we've got just a little bit left over in the transfer budget just in case. But now we can accept the pre-contracts for Feghouli. So Feghouli can come in at the start of next season, which would be fantastic. 26-year-old, 81 rated, right-sided midfielder that could play on either side of the wings, to be completely honest. And we can bring in Joel Matip. Bear in mind, we still haven't had a bid for Dante at all this window, and he was the main player I wanted to move out so far here at Wolfsburg. So it looks like, although there are still 3 or 4 days left in the windows, we have a couple of games actually before the window closes, there is still time to move Dante on if we get a bid in. If not, Dante will stay until the end of the season, then we'll move Dante on and Matip will come in. Feghouli will come in as well. We could then perhaps look to move on the aging Varinia or someone else to free up the space to bring in Feghouli to start on the right-hand side of that midfield. So it's been a very exciting transfer window so far. Iñaki Williams confirmed and in. Bril Donald and Bolo confirmed and in. And 2 pre-contract players of high quality to join us next season. I'm pleased with how things are going so far. We're on the 23rd of January with a game against Eintracht Frankfurt to play in tomorrow's episode. Drop this video a like if you enjoyed, of course. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the transfers we've made today, whether you're keen on them or whether you think I've made a mistake. Personally, I'm very keen on them, so hopefully you guys are as well. But yeah, like I say, feel free to follow me on Twitter. All my other social media links are in the description down below. Should be streaming tonight over on Twitch as well, so follow the link to that in the description and follow me over there. But for now, I'll see you next time.